Hello people of YouTube. Today we're covering the complete installation of the 52-inch Pine Meadows ceiling fan by Home Decorators Collection. If you found this video, you might be stuck in your own installation and you're looking for some help and some guidance, and we're here to do just that. We've already unpacked the fan and we're going to install this thing step by step all the way to turning it on and everything in between. But if you'd like to, you can use the links down below to fast forward to any point in the installation, and that way you don't have to watch the whole video and you can get back to enjoying your life. Yeah, and if you like this video, you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe, and that'll help other people find it as well. This is a damp rated fan, making it perfect for use in covered outdoor locations like porches and patios, but it looks great indoors as well. It is a dual mount fan, meaning that it can be hung with the included downrod on a standard flat ceiling, or it can be hung from a higher angled ceiling with an extension downrod sold separately. The fan has some great quick fit installation features like a slide on mounting bracket, AccuArm blade arms with captive screws, and quick install blades that attach in seconds with no screws necessary. It also features a remote control, and the remote receiver has a quick connect wire harness plug to make connecting to the fan that much quicker. So before we get started, just a couple of notes. You want to make sure that the electricity is turned off at the breaker box and at the wall switch. If you're not comfortable working around electricity, please consult with a licensed electrician. And one other note is if you're hanging this fan where there was just a light fixture on your ceiling, you need to make sure that the outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If not, you'll need to replace that before beginning. Okay, so as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan. We've opened up the manual to the parts page. Now we're just going to go over all the parts to make sure we have everything, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up, you have the slide-on mounting bracket. This comes pre-installed with the Canopy and the Canopy ring on the bottom. We'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. Next up, you'll have 5 reversible quick install blades. You have 5 AccuArm blade arms with captive screws. You have the decorative motor collar cover, the light kit pan, the light kit, the decorative cage for the light kit, the glass shade for the light kit, the ball and downrod assembly, the fan motor. If you're installing this with an extension downrod, you'll have a bit of extension wiring. The fan does include 2 LED bulbs. And as mentioned, it does have a remote control and the receiver. And the remote does include a wall cradle for convenient storage when not in use, and the battery is included for the remote as well. And you also have this little hardware pack with a hanger pin and locking pin and 3 plastic wire nuts. So we have everything here, just some tools we're going to need. It's a Phillips head screwdriver. You might need a pair of wire cutters and strippers. We like to have a line voltage tester to make sure the wires aren't live before beginning. You'll need some electrical tape, and of course a ladder. So we have everything here. We're ready to begin. Let's do this. The mounting bracket comes pre-installed inside the Canopy with the decorative ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first pull off the decorative ring. It's magnetic, so it just pulls off. You'll notice an alignment post at the base of the Canopy. You'll need to loosen but not remove the 2 screws in the base of the Canopy, enough so that that alignment post can exit that hole. Once those 2 screws are loosened, you'll simply lift and twist the mounting bracket to remove it from the Canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket for easy installation. The bracket has 2 keyhole slots that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. Simply align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box and then slide to hold in place before tightening. This is just a demonstration. To install the mounting bracket, begin by using a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 screws in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply lines through the mounting bracket and align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws that were loosened in the outlet box. Then slide the mounting bracket into place. Then, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten both of the outlet box screws and secure the mounting bracket. Make sure that both screws are completely tightened. Prepare the remote control by sliding the battery compartment cover off of the back of the remote control. If you have another remote control fan in the house, it's a good idea to change the dip switch settings in the remote and the receiver. You'll need to do this prior to wiring. You'll note the dip switches in the remote control. Use a small screwdriver or a pen to set the dip switches in the remote transmitter. There's also a light control switch in the battery compartment of the remote. This switch is labeled O and D. To disable the dimming function of the light kit, set the switch to O. To enable the dimming function, make sure the switch is set to D. If you change the dip switch settings in the handheld remote, you'll need to match those settings in the remote receiver. To do so, pull up the rubber cover to expose the dip switches, and then using a small tool, set the dip switches to match the handheld remote. You can set the dip switches to any combination as long as both the remote and the receiver have the same dip switch settings. Once the dip switches are set, replace the rubber plug on the receiver. Install the included battery according to the diagram inside the battery compartment. Replace the battery cover by sliding it onto the remote. Before attaching the downrod, you'll need to use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 set screws located on the motor collar. Next, gently pull the green ground wire from inside the ball and downrod assembly. Then, place the canopy on the downrod so that the downrod exits the smallest hole of the canopy. Next, place the decorative ring on the downrod. Make sure the black side with the notches is facing towards the canopy. The last piece is the decorative motor collar cover. Slide that onto the downrod, making sure that the largest opening is facing towards the end of the downrod. Then gently feed the wires through the bottom of the downrod so that they exit through the ball portion. Gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar. Align the holes with the bottom of the downrod with the holes in the motor collar at the top of the motor. Use the locking pin and hanger pin included in the hardware pack to secure the downrod to the motor collar. With the holes aligned in the downrod and the motor collar, gently insert the hanger pin through one hole of the motor collar so that it exits through the opposite side. Make sure not to jam the wires inside the downrod. Once the hanger pin is through the motor collar, secure it by placing the locking pin in the holes at the end of the hanger pin. Finish the downrod installation by securely tightening the 2 set screws in the motor collar using a Phillips head screwdriver. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot in the ball that will engage the tab in the mounting bracket. When hanging, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab. This is just a close-up demonstration. To hang the fan, lift the fan assembly up to the ceiling. Note the location of the slot that will align with the tab in the mounting bracket. Insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel that tab engage the slot. The fan will drop into place when properly seated. You'll notice that one side of the receiver has the quick connect plug that will connect to the fan wiring. The other side of the receiver has 2 wires to connect to the house wiring. When installing the receiver, make sure the flat side of the receiver is facing towards the ceiling. Insert the receiver into the mounting bracket with the antenna side first, so that the receiver rests on the ball and downrod assembly. Begin wiring the fan by taking the plug from the fan wires and inserting that into the plug from the receiver. The connectors will simply snap together. Next, take the green wire from the ball and downrod assembly and twist that wire together with the green wire from the mounting bracket. Next, connect the green wires to the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Finish the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the receiver and twist that wire together with the white wire from the house supply lines. These are the neutral connections. Twist those 2 wires together and finish the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Finish the wiring by taking the black wire from the receiver and connecting that wire to the black wire from the house supply lines. This is the power connection. Twist those 2 wires together and secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wire connections have been made, gently tuck the wires around the mounting bracket and into the outlet box to make room for the canopy to attach. The canopy attaches to the mounting bracket using 2 keyhole slots on either side of the canopy that will align with the 2 screws at the base of the mounting bracket. Align those holes with the screws in the mounting bracket and push the canopy up so the screws come through the keyhole slots, and then twist to hold the canopy in place. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those screws and secure the canopy. You can tilt the fan to make extra room for the screwdriver to access the screws. Make sure both screws are completely tight. The decorative ring is magnetic. You just need to align the slots of